Hey guys, how you doing? Back for another episode of the Tristan Files, and so it's been, obviously a lot has happened since the last episode, and I think the one thing that really prevails about all of this is how surreal the whole thing is. It's like every time. It's like every time you sort of poke your head out, something terrible has happened, something unbelievable is happening again. Sorry to get political for a second, but in a perverse way, it's kind of like American politics. Watching the rise of 45th, and it's kind of like you look at it, and it's just like every moment is something new, unexpected, because it's ridiculous. But anyway, moving on from that. So in this since the last episode, Australia has officially gone into as lockdown as pretty much I think you can get. So no Australian is to leave Australia. If you're here in Australia, you're not going anywhere. And any Australian that returns now goes into a mandatory, initially it was a mandatory 2-week quarantine, and then it's not only as a 2-week self-isolation, you are now being put up in hotels by the government for 2 weeks. Not sure who's footing the bill for that 2 weeks in a hotel. I don't know whether it's government or it's individual, I'm not sure. But other than that, it's just a lot of commercial flights in and out of Australia have also gone. Qantas no longer flies to the US. So a friend of mine was actually on the final flight out of the US to Australia. And once again, as soon as I am filming, Mr. Austin has come up to say hello. So anyway, so it's kind of really surreal with that. And then on a more local level, it's been interesting because I've just come back from my weekly grocery shop, and that was both the quietest I've seen the supermarkets in a while. So that was interesting. There's definitely the most staff I've seen in a long time in Woolworths. Aldi is just Aldi. What was interesting though was that there's a lot more stock back on the shelves. There's a lot more stock back on the shelves. Like, I was actually able to get hand soap for the first time in a month. So that was exciting and that was interesting. Because I was out. So it was kind of good that I actually managed to get it just as I ran out. But there's most foods, there's stuff available. Woolworths didn't have as much fresh produce available as they normally do, fresh meat and fresh produce. Aldi still seem to have their pretty standard thing. Though I noticed their shelf lives of their fruit and veg is a lot less than it normally is. Like, normally you have about a week to use the salads and whatever. Now you have 2 days, so that's different. There's still security guards. There's a lot more security at both stores, which is interesting. And I guess the other thing is it's interesting to watching the limits on stuff. Now, for me, for example, I use a lot of coconut milk and almond milk. Are you gonna come here? Come here! Oh, see, come up and say hello. Hello, hello. He is probably going to kill me in my sleep. Okay. Alright. Or he's going to put his ass in my face. One of the two. Anyway. Okay. Ow! Ow! Oh. Okay. Never worked with live animals or children, apparently. Anyway, so I use a lot of... I don't drink dairy. So I have almond milk, coconut milk a lot. Because it's all long life stuff, I normally I'll buy a carton of it. So that's usually sort of 8 to 12 1 litre Tetra Packs of it, and then that's it. And I ran out. I was down to my last sort of 1 litre of each of them this week. So I was like, okay, I was good. Then I went to, and I noticed the sign in Aldi was that there's a limit of 6 Tetra Packs, like lima packs per item. But I didn't see a sign up in Woolies for anything. But apparently Woolies have a 2 Tetra Pack limit. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's basically 1 week's supply for me. So that's interesting. And I get that it's there to stop hoarding. I definitely agree with that. So in that way, I definitely agree. Because that was one of the areas that it was funny actually. So in both of them, the like full cream and the skim, like normal dairy long life milks, both of those were just gone. There was like nothing left of any of the brands in either of the stores. But it was interesting, all your alternative milks like almond and coconut, I didn't notice soy, whether that was there or not, but almond and coconut definitely, there was plenty of stock of those. So that was interesting, just an interesting little observation anyway. And at least gluten-free bread seems to still be a player available. It's still expensive as hell, but at least it's available. But yeah, as I said, it was an interesting experience, a journey, because it was just kind of surreal, especially the security sort of just everywhere. And it was interesting, I was reading a tweet from someone this morning about how they're not sure what's disturbing them more, people ignoring lockdown and quarantine orders and self-isolation orders and stuff like that, or the rapid journey towards a police state, especially there's we had the sort of the first lockdown orders, sort of mandatory lockdown orders have come through, and people, if you have a self-isolation, if you have an isolation order, i.e. that you've come back from travelling and you must quarantine yourself for 14 days, if you don't adhere to that, you will be arrested and you'll be fined. And the first of those have actually sort of started happening in Western Australia and New South Wales. And absolutely you have to do that for the greater good. However, it is concerning on another level with the fact that we are becoming a police state. And it's just it's an observation more than anything else. And I hope that's all it will be. It's just an observation, but it's an interesting thought. So yeah, anyway. But yeah, otherwise for now, I'm still, as I said, because I work with defence, I'm still classified as a essential employee, so I'm still going to the office every day. And we'll see how that goes. So anyway, other than that, I'm doing my socially distant exercises and doing things solo. I did yesterday. I went to the ocean baths and swam 2Ks, and that was fun. Cold, freezing cold. So I got the wetsuit out for the first time in a long time. And then today was, so April's got me doing Insanity 60-day challenge. So this is day 1 of that today. So I was doing the fitness test of that, and I was a sweaty, heart racing mess by the end of that. We'll see how this goes for the next 2 months. And then tonight I've got a long ass kicker ride to do today. So doing my best social isolation. And don't forget to, if you're into flight simming, and if you're into flight simming, I'm guessing a lot of you probably ended up here because of my other channel, but if you didn't know, I do another channel with flight simming. Don't forget to check that out. Hopefully you can put some more content out, though. There you go. Okay, that's the update, so hope you guys are all staying well, and we'll catch you around. Okay,